Inspector down. Threat neutralized.
What's going on, everybody? It's 2-Bit here. Now, I know I've been slacking on my videos a little bit lately. I've been a little bit busy with some other things. But to make up for it, I'm going to bring a special story commentary today. This one's going to be about a one-night stand I had with a random girl I met at Walmart. First off, as a disclaimer, I'm not the world's best storyteller, so if I fumble a little bit, please forgive me. So this one happened maybe 2 or 3 days after my girlfriend broke up. I was home alone, I was bored, a little bit depressed, so I had to get out of the house. So I did what any good American does, and I went to my local Walmart to kill some time. Now I did the usual, browsing the electronics, checking out a little bit of clothes, and scoping out all the junk food. And after about 45 minutes or so, I decided to go over to the toy section and pick out my cousin something because his birthday was coming up. Now, as I was looking at the wrestling figures, I noticed somebody walk past my aisle out of the corner of my eye. Didn't think much of it, and I went back on my way. Then I walked down a little bit further towards the Hot Wheels, and I noticed the same girl walk by again. And I thought, man, she's kind of cute. But she passed real quick, so I went back on my way. And I keep browsing, just looking at all the toys down the aisle, and I noticed the same girl walk by the aisle a couple times. Each time she was like staring down, eyeballing me. And I thought it was kind of weird. Didn't think much of it, just thought she was keeping an eye on the weird dude that was hanging out in the kids' toys. But anyways, she does this maybe 6 or so times, and then she finally comes down the aisle and stops by me. I remember I was looking at a Lego set, and she grabbed one too, and she starts just making small talk with me, asking who I was looking at some toys for. So I told her what was going on, and we just had a little bit of small chat. Can't remember too much about it. But then after a minute, she asked me if I wanted to go back to her car with her. Now this really threw me off, because that's really the kind of shit you only see happen in movies. And I really wanted to say no, but I decided why not. What's the worst that could happen? So at that point, we head out to her car, get in. I remember her car was a little bit of an older Buick. It still had the front bench seat. And we got in, and before I could even say anything, she slides over and she starts kissing me. And I'm like, alright, cool. Now this goes on for a couple minutes. She starts getting really worked up. So she asked if I wanted to go somewhere quiet. And at first, this was kind of a red flag for me. So I'm like, telling her, oh, I can't go. My buddy Tyler's going to be on his way soon. Pick me up at the store. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, it's okay. We're only going across the street. We'll be close enough for when he gets here. So then I'm like, well, I don't have any condoms. And without hesitation, she's like, oh, it's okay. I bought some earlier. Pulls them out of her purse. And I'm thinking for a second. And finally I figure, this kind of opportunity doesn't come along every day. Fuck it. Let's go. So we go across the street where another building just closed down. So obviously there's not going to be anybody in that lot. And it's nice and dark. So we park. And before I even realize what's really going on, she's already naked and ready to go. So I was like, damn, she means business. So I get all my clothes off, blah, blah, blah. We start going to town. And then it was very obvious it's been a while for her. She starts going nuts. And she was loud as hell. And for a minute she started sounding like Dory from Finding Nemo when she was trying to talk whale.
Whoa! All right, whoa! You actually sound sick.
Maybe louder, huh?
Don't do that.
Too much.
Now this made things a little awkward for me. So I figured it was time to go. So I just finished off as quick as I could. And then as we're both putting our clothes back on, she's trying to convince me to go back to her place with her. And I'm like, no. So I'm like, I can't. My buddy's gonna be here. We got plans. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, so then she insists on just driving me home. I'm like, no, it's cool. I got my buddy on his way. He should be texting me any minute. We gotta grab a couple things, and then we gotta do our stuff tonight. And she just spends a few minutes like trying to convince me, let her take me home, or go with her, or something of the sort. And then, luckily, thank baby Jesus, out of nowhere, I just so happened to get a random ass text from my buddy Tyler, who I was pretending was going to be the one picking me up from the store. It was just a simple text from him saying, where you at? So I saw that as my cue. I showed her my phone. I was like, look, I got to get back. He's going to be here. So I got her to finally drive me back across the street to the store. So she asked if I wanted to just hang out in the car with her until he showed up. And I was like, no, it's cool. I got to pick up some stuff before he gets here. Blah, blah, blah. I got out of the car, went in the store as quick as I could, just trying to get away from her. And I hid out for a good 20 minutes or so before I finally felt I was good enough to go out to my car and drive home. So that's my story. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad or leave much detail out. As I said, I'm not the best storyteller ever. But anyways, if you could, drop a like, leave a comment, maybe tell me one of your weird or awkward sexual experiences. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you can get more content like this. Peace.